Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is another one of our heart-powered, inspiring interviews. And as you know, every time we introduce an amazing guest to you, a great speaker, entrepreneur, someone that can really give you powerful golden nuggets to bring your speaking and your business to a different level. Today, we have Wizz Selvey with us. She is the founder of WIZZ CO, a strategy consulting firm that partners with a range of clients from emerging to global brands, retailers, and investors who share the same values, innovation, ambition, and a desire to disrupt the market. It's not about the size of the business, but the ambition. Their promise is become the brand your customers rave about. Who wouldn't want that, right? Besides being the founder of WIZZ Co, Wizz is also a champion for change in the retail industry, previously heading up beauty buying at Selfridges and working with Ocado, Next, and Fenwick. Wizz has a unique instinct for trends, how to build a disruptive brand, and she's an expert on customer behavior. Well, Wizz, I can't wait for you to share all your golden nuggets with us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Delighted to be here.
Great. Why don't we jump right in? One of the questions I always love to ask is, what are your personal 3 best practices or 3 things that you do right now to bring your own consulting firm to a different level?
I think the biggest shift that I've seen in my business was when I started investing in my own personal development. So I suppose from investing in mentors and coaches myself, and also I suppose learning how to build a business. I'd obviously worked in corporate world before, and it is very different having and running your own business, and it is so personal as well, because how you feel and how I suppose you behave directly impacts your business. So that's my first one. I suppose my second best practice has been how I built my profile. Again, I worked in corporate, was head of beauty buying at Selfridges, which was amazing. I had a huge supplier base. I worked with about 400 brands. Everybody knew who I was, which was great. But as soon as you start your own business or you leave a big corporation, you can very quickly be forgotten. So it was all about building my own personal profile, marketing myself, and then really refining, I suppose, my communication and what I do, so how I can help people and communicate clearly to them what services I offer, but also how I can support people and guide people through the industry, whether I'm the right person to be working with, or whether I can inspire them to take action in their business.
Great. Why don't we go in deeper into each and every one of them? So personal development, I mean, all of us, entrepreneurs, we always love to learn from people that are already ahead of us or have had great experience to help us bring our own business again to a different level. And there's so much we can learn from each other. So, in what way has, what were some of the things that you invested in where you felt like that investment really made the biggest impact in my business? Or, impact also on my personal development?
Yeah, a couple of different things. I think kind of that one-to-one, I suppose, life coaching and kind of understanding who I was and kind of how I molded my business to align with what I was good at, what I'd learned across the years, like what was my sweet spot, my zone of genius, and ultimately what I was passionate about as well. And that was through working directly with a coach one-to-one, but also kind of working in group programs as well, with kind of a bit more of a framework and a structure of me being able to identify that more early on, which has certainly helped. And then also identifying where I felt were kind of my weaknesses in my business and with myself personally as well. And I think as a previous buyer, I'd shied away from sales a bit because I'd always had a lot of sales relationships. So I didn't want to be salesy, which again, that was, I suppose, some personal blocks I had as well. So actually investing in a sales coach was super helpful for me as well. So yeah, I think it's working out where you are at which time in your business and how you surround yourself with the right people that are further ahead in their business that can inspire and mentor you as well.
Right, absolutely. And it's a lifelong learning, especially as an entrepreneur. Markets change, there's always new trends, always new technology, right? It never stops. And that also means that we're not only learning all the time, again, we're kind of reestablishing and upgrading our business all the time in certain ways. And you said one of your best practices is really to, build your own profile, build your business profile, get seen in the market in a certain way. And you say that you help your clients to really become the brand their customers rave about. So how did you build your own brand, or how did you, or not brand, but your own profile to make your business a product or an offer your customers rave about?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting one. When I started my business, I just kind of started working with a few different companies, and I suppose on a traditional consulting model. And as that evolved, I started to think about, okay, how do I want to build out my business in the future? What direction do I want to go at? Do I want it to go in? And I suppose that tagline, be the brand that your customers rave about, I suddenly thought, I'm teaching people how to build a brand that stands out in the market, generally product-based businesses, because I'd worked in kind of luxury beauty, fashion, accessories. So I kind of thought, hang on, I need to brand myself in that way as well. So I tried to, I suppose, look at it from the outside, and how do I suppose, create that persona of myself, which I can't change who I am, but make sure that who I am comes out naturally and genuinely. But also, how do I suppose evoke a sense of I suppose excitement and inspiration with potential clients as well. So I also looked at the branding of my business and kind of what I stood for, and tried to position myself maybe as I would a product-based business, because that's what I was good at. That's what I could teach people how to do. So actually I thought I need to live to my own values of what I'm teaching other people as well. So I felt that that was suddenly really important for me to evolve my business in that way. So that's where I kind of created my brand, my business name, WIZZ CO, and I kind of looked at what the branding was, what I stood for, and how I communicated things. And then it was also what was quite interesting as well. I've been called Wiz, which is quite an unusual name since I was 2 years old. My real name's Elizabeth, but I was really steering away from using the word Wiz in my business name. Again, I was part of a great program, a coaching program and community, and everyone was like, but you are Wiz, that's you, that's your identity. So that really helped me on that process as well to evolve what I was going to call my business, because ultimately that's super hard, that decision, and that was definitely a journey. So it was really helpful to have other people's input in that as well.
And I think that is a challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs, really embracing who we are and making that shine through our business, through the names, through the logos, through the values, through what we offer, what we don't offer, and everything else, right? In what way has you embracing you yourself, your own personality, your own profile, as you call it, which is your personality, your values, is pretty much, as you say, who you are. How did it help you embracing that, and how, what impact did that make in your business once you did?
Yeah, I think it's just about being a bit more human and just showing all sides of you. I think at the start of my journey, I was thinking this is my professional life and this is my personal life, but actually people buy from people, something I always talk to brands about as well, because if you're a product-based business, people sometimes hide behind their product rather than, if they're a founder, kind of putting their face to the brand as well. But we're humans, we're emotive, and we do buy from people. So I suppose, again, it was how my personality could come through, how I could be more natural, how I could be silly, how I could have a joke when I was kind of doing online things or chatting to people, which I suppose was me relaxing, but helps other people relax as well. So that takes practice as well, trying different things out, seeing how people react, seeing their faces and the feedback you get. So all of that takes time and is a journey as well. But what I've definitely learned is it's okay just to be me. Which sounds crazy as I say that out loud, but it and hopefully will resonate with other people. But I think people definitely worry about that as well. So the more personality I put out, the better reactions I get.
Right. And obviously that, as you mentioned already, I mean, once you're embracing who you are more, like being more witty, more silly, weaving humor into what you do and how you show up, that also refines communication. As you said, that was your third step of, what you really made the biggest difference. So in what way are you refining your communication? What concrete steps are you taking that others could take also for their business?
I think constantly evolving. I see a lot of people that come up with a concept, an idea, certainly in product-based businesses, and they've seen a gap in the market, or this is what they want to try and identify, because often they've had maybe a problem trying to find this themselves. But actually, markets move, consumers evolve, there's lots of change, and I think people are scared to change things up. I think they think, I've created a business and this is what it's about, so this is the direction I've got to go in. But actually, if you've been running your business for a year or 2 or 5 years, everything's changing around you. You're changing, your clients are changing, you're learning. So I think it's don't be scared to make amendments, and that doesn't necessarily have to be throw everything up in the air, have a full rebrand, have a full reposition. It's how you evolve things along the way, and that could just be updating a few words on your website, or the headline, or the type of images that work in through social media, or some of the phrases that you use, and often again that's found through having conversations with people or feedback, what have people reacted to, and then you think, okay, this is potentially a pain point for that client or that customer, so actually how can I align my messaging to help solve their problems, because ultimately that's what I think what any business is trying to do, is trying to help people and solve people's problems.
Right, I love it. And as you know, our business is called HearPowered Business, and I know that you're really resonating with that name as well, right? So I wanted to know, like, what does running a HearPowered business mean to you?
Oh, for me, I suppose it's leading from my soul, really, and kind of internally, how can I help more people? How can I inspire more people and support as many people leading businesses as possible? And that's not about necessarily being exclusive about the size of the business as well. I've always worked with a huge size and variety and type of brand. So for me, I've created a structure within my business, so it is accessible for different sizes of businesses, from those kind of startups that have been trading 6 months to 3 years. I have online education, and I have strategy mentoring in groups that people can access, because I think these are the stars of the future, and I want to give people a platform to be able to still be able to work with me, and they're super inspiring as well, to see those people on that journey. But then I also work all the way through to kind of the larger corporate businesses as well. And I know some people say we should be quite focused on your business, but actually for me it's about how people, I suppose, access the information, and making it accessible for all, because ultimately I feel like I can help a lot of businesses. So it's supporting them in that way, and trying to get that message out.
Right, I love it. I very much resonate with that. Beautiful description. So I as you know, I mean, you and I, we have something in common, which is like we are really action takers, right? So and again, the more regularly we take action, the more we shape our business, and we shape the development of our business. So what is one habit that you have that again, because again, what we do on a regular basis becomes a habit, right? So what is a habit that you have that helps you stay in love with what you do, stay motivated, stay striving, high energy, and everything else it takes to run a business? What is one of your success habits?
My biggest thing is getting away from my desk and getting away from work. Having been and still am very ambitious, and I suppose really pushing the whole of my life for what's next, and very career focused. Actually, I got to the point of burnout, so it was kind of I really wasn't very happy. So for me, I've had to really kind of, I suppose, unravel how I work best. And yeah, I used to chain myself to a desk and talk about freedom of having your own business, but I wasn't living through those values. So for me, it's really about getting away from my desk, and you never switch off as an entrepreneur, so you're always thinking about things. But yeah, I love going to do something at lunchtime, so going to yoga is quite a regular thing, kind of at least 3 times a week at lunchtimes, or just kind of getting out the house and going for a walk, or having meetings and kind of walking on the way. So yeah, for me it's about breaking the day up. If I just kind of sit down at a desk for too long, yeah, I just get completely wiped out, and it depletes my energy for a couple of days really, and I'm still learning about that.
Yeah.
I still do a little bit too much, and then like, oh, because I think just one more thing. So yeah, it's creating quite strict boundaries with myself.
I hear you. And it's so important, as you say, to take breaks, because again, it doesn't only, nourish our mind, but it nourishes our body. And again, it's in these moments when we get the greatest, ideas as well. So yes, I'm like you, like focused work is great, but then really taking a break, right? And really doing something for our body, and not only for our, from our mind.
Yeah.
Very powerful. So, Viz, I mean, you and I, we could keep talking forever, right? But, I'd like to round up our conversation today by really also inviting everyone that's here with us. And, by the way, welcome. It's great to have you all. And I love how, you keep an eye out on our interviews and how you tell us you're inspired from our interviews. That's amazing. And, again, I like everyone that is here with us to really also not only get inspired, but really take one action step so that they really turn their inspiration into action, into results. What would you suggest? Is like, we like to ask our guests, what is the weekly challenge, or what's the action you'd invite everyone to take?
Yeah, I think there's so much free content out there now, which is amazing. And I've certainly become overwhelmed with it. I've learned so much as well. But what I've found that has been really valuable for myself is making a decision of, once I've kind of researched who the people are that I'm following, who's inspiring me, is I suppose to take action and get in touch with that person, or to, I suppose, take that next step that's potentially scaring you. Because I think I've been doing it myself for a while, and have recently taken action with kind of hiring a new sales coach, which has been amazing. I saw immediate shifts just from, I suppose, the energy of doing that. So I think it's really thinking about your network, and making sure you've got a strong group of mentors and guides around you, and actually starting to I suppose hone that down to a couple of people. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two or three that kind of do things in different areas. But I think sometimes we can be overwhelmed with how much information there is out there. And as a result, then we don't take action, or we get confused about what the right thing is to do. And as soon as I've got focused and just made my decision, okay, this is the person that I'm going to aspire to be, listen to, take their advice, and kind of, I suppose, stay in that lane, I've really, really benefited, and myself and my business has started to flourish. So yeah, that action for today is, who is that one person that you've been following, kind of hesitating, maybe thinking about getting in touch with, and how can you go and take that inspired action and get in touch today, and focus on that one channel.
I love that. And I'm definitely going to make my own list, and I'll probably not only going to play today, okay, I'll probably also make a list. And then again, on a regular basis, let's reach out to those inspiring people. Okay, we never know where it guides us and where it leads us. Okay, great, Viz. I know that a lot of people, they want to build products, and products in a business their clients rave about. So if they want to get in touch with you, where can they find you? How can they get best in touch with you?
Yeah, I mean, please come to my website, which is wizzandco.com. Wizz is WIZZ, and please connect with me on social media. I'm really active on LinkedIn and on Instagram, and please do message me as well. Honestly, I love to hear what is the one action that you're going to take from hearing this today. So come and introduce yourself, tell me what you're doing, and what is the action that you've taken. Because yeah, we do these events and they're amazing, but actually getting that feedback is amazing. I think Zoom's fantastic. It's made the world smaller, but actually sometimes you can't read people's faces or see reactions. So yeah, I love hearing back.
Right, I definitely invite you to connect with Viz, right? Connect with her directly and see, what magic you can create together. And she might just be the one, right, taking action on our call to action today, right? She might be the one that you might want to reach out to, right? So Viz, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your insights and experiences with all of us. And all of you, thank you for being on with us as always. And as you know, next week, or soon enough, we're going to be back with another HearPowered inspiring interview. But first of all, now today, we're going to celebrate you, Viz, and everyone that's here with us. So take the action today, and then let us know also in our HearPowered Global Nation, that you took the action. We are here to cheer you on, and we also want to hear about what did you take away and what results did you get as a result of that. Great. Okay. Thank you, Viz. Thank you all. Okay. We'll be in touch soon. And as we always say, speak up, scale up, impact the world. Do your magic. Okay. Until soon. Cheers.
Thank you.